My name is Katrine. I am 34 years old, married to Paul, the man I love, and mother of a 4-year-old son, Lucas. My life is a balancing act, a home in Hamburg, a job as a graphic designer, a smile that covers up my insecurities. But 3 months ago, I experienced something that shook me deeply. My first time from behind. It was a moment that excited and frightened me at the same time. This story is a glimpse into my soul, my doubts, and my insights. It was a weekend in March 2025. Paul and I had recently grown estranged. Work, children, and everyday life had driven us apart. We decided to spend a romantic weekend in a small holiday home on the North Sea. Just the two of us, while Lucas was with my parents. The first few days were beautiful, full of tenderness, but on the second evening everything took an unexpected turn. Paul whispered in my ear. He wanted to try something new. I was curious, but also nervous. What was he planning? We were lying in bed. The waves were crashing outside and the atmosphere was electric. When he suggested doing it from behind, my breath caught in my throat. It was something we had never discussed. My heart was racing partly with excitement and partly with fear. But I trusted him and we went for it. It was intense, overwhelming, a mixture of pain and ecstasy that shook me. Afterward, I lay awake. My body was shaking, my mind whirling. Was this love? Was this me? I felt alive, but also guilty, like I had crossed a line. The next morning, the air was tense. Paul smiled, but his eyes looked uncertain. How do you feel? He asked softly. I mumbled something non-committal, unsure of how to describe my feelings. The tension grew when he suggested trying again. I hesitated. Was what I had felt real? Or just a moment of weakness? Suddenly, I heard a noise. Was that Lucas's voice? My parents had promised to keep him away. Had he found us? The days that followed were an emotional turmoil. At home, I tried to be normal, but the memory of that night burned inside me. Paul grew quieter, watching me. One evening, he asked, "Do you regret it?" His voice was heavy. My stomach clenched. Did he know I was doubting? I lied, saying no, but uncertainty gnawed at me. What if he sensed my confusion and misunderstood? Would it drive us apart? Then an unexpected twist occurred. As I was clearing Paul's jacket from the hallway, a piece of paper fell out. It was a note in his handwriting. Prepare a surprise for Katrine. My heart raced. Had he planned this? I confronted him, and he confessed. I did some research, thinking it might bring us closer. I was speechless. He hadn't suggested it spontaneously. He had been planning it for weeks. Was this love or control? The tension escalated when Lucas came into our room one night, crying after a nightmare. Why were you making such strange noises? He asked innocently. Paul and I froze. Had he heard us? I put him back to bed. My heart was pounding. What if he did it again? Would it burden our family? I began writing my thoughts in a diary, hidden under my bed, a place for my torn feelings. One day Paul found the diary. I don't know how, but he had discovered it. maybe out of curiosity. "Katrine, what is this?" he asked. The book in his hand, his voice shaky. I couldn't run away anymore. With tears in my eyes, I told him the truth. My fear, my joy, my doubts about this experience. "I love you, Paul," I said, "but I don't know how I feel." He looked at me for a long time, his face a mixture of pain and understanding. Would he leave me? He went out, and the hours that followed were torture. I imagined a life without him, alone with Lucas. But that night he came back. "Katrine, I didn't want to rush you," he said, his eyes moist. "Let's figure this out together." We hugged, and it wasn't an immediate cure, but a start. We talked openly about our desires, our fears. It was painful, but it deepened our trust. I talked to Lucas, simply explaining to him that sometimes adults try new things, but that he was always safe. "I love you, Mom," he said, snuggling up to me. Today, my diary lies open on the bedside table. The uncertainty is still there, but it's easier because I share it. My first time from behind was a shock, but it taught me that love also means rediscovering yourself and your partner. When I look at Paul and Lucas, I wonder what would have happened if we hadn't spoken. The openness has strengthened us, even if it has left scars. I'm not proud of my initial uncertainty, but I'm grateful for the strength I found to face it. In quiet moments, I feel a peace that grows from trust, a peace that blossoms even after the bravest steps. That night changed me, but it didn't break me. It showed me that a relationship can grow if we remain honest with ourselves and with each other. And that's a lesson I'll carry with me forever.